Pwede kuchechash hin wanyamats asa hahapanya hanach osita katyemsio tue natyushke atsko saapatia it's dia. That's napetan it's dia. My name is Trisha Moquino, and I am from Coach T, Giwa, and Okewenge. Those are three of the 19 pueblos located in New Mexico, and primarily grew up in two Keres speaking villages, Coach T and Giwa, where my mother is from. But I'm happy to just share a little bit about water. And in Keres, we say we call water tzitz. And just from the time I was small, um, of course, now into adulthood, but also working with my own children and teaching them about the importance of water, and that importance of water, that importance is 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 all day, every day, and it's every day throughout the year, but especially during times of rituals and ceremony, but also really in our prayers every day because we live in the high desert. We don't take water for granted, and so we are always praying for moisture. We are always praying for water, and we never say it shouldn't rain or it shouldn't snow because we know how hard sometimes water is to come by, and it is always a blessing. And one of the things that our grandparents taught us, my grandpa taught us, is that when we have our ceremonies, that's one of the things that we always pray for. It's for moisture, it's for rain. I also remember this one time playing with water in the plaza and at home at our other home at Coach Chi. And one of our aunts, who was still around then, who also lived in the plaza. And I always remember her coming out and scolding us because we were playing with water. And I just remember as a child thinking, I wonder why she's getting mad at us. And, I did not understanding fully and having a full appreciation of water. But she was, she had the right to scold us, and she was scolding us because we shouldn't have been playing with water like that just because it comes in abundance from the faucet, doesn't mean it's abundant. So in today's world, there's this false sense that we have of abundance around water just because it comes from a faucet. It doesn't mean that it's abundant. So we really have to work hard to teach our children to respect water, to not waste it, and be grateful for our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents and our aunties and uncles who lived in a time where they had to work really hard to go get water. And so our girls' grandmother is always telling them stories about how she had to go haul water from the river. And the river is about maybe a little less than a half a mile from here. But when you have to work hard to get water, when you have to suffer on some level and sacrifice on some level to have water, and not just water, but anything, you're gonna have more of an appreciation for it, and you're not gonna waste it, and you're not gonna take that for granted. And so I appreciate that our own daughters get to hear those stories, and just all the time, anytime we have moisture in our lives, we always give thanks, and we always are grateful for that blessing of water. And those blessings come in many forms, not just in the material, concrete way that we see water, but all the ways that we don't see that it blesses us and blesses other beings and our lands, and then the beauty that comes out of when water nourishes the land. I just am grateful to Standing Rock, that community, for showing the world how important water is, and then putting that in our consciousness. The water is life in everybody's consciousness. We've already had it in our way of life, and but for that to be a staple in thinking about the gift of water. So, nature, I want to say thank you for this opportunity to share about water.